right, hello. Welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging. We are playing Mothership tonight. Galen is yeah, John. This is my third game of the day, and I am seeing things. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could play a game at like 5 a.m. my time. Then I played another one in the afternoon. Both those were over on Garblock. So I've played Alien today. I've played Blades in the Dark, and now I get to finish it off with Mothership. Unless you guys want to hang around later, and maybe we'll do a little Death in Space just for shits and giggles. We'll see. We'll see.
At what point do we have an intervention for you, Jeff?
I don't understand how the word no works. I just one of these days I'll learn how that thing works. Because I just never say it, and I just keep saying yes and doing stuff.
And then you have fun when you say yes and you do stuff.
I do, but the lead up to when I do it, I'm just stressed and panicked, and then afterwards I'm exhausted. But I am sure the next, however the hell long we're going to play tonight, I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm not going to have as much fun because Ashley's not here. But this Ashley said she's going to try to check in on the chat. So we do have the rule though that if they're not here, you're welcome to speak ill of them and explain why your character is superior to their character. That's just a rule. So yeah. The situation
But we all like Ashley is the problem.
Yeah. That is, I know
like
that's the difference.
Old in-person game where the joke was just that they were like chomping on a turkey leg.
Eating a turkey leg the whole time.
Were doing.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Stephen, whenever we had a person missing, all I would do is say that you look over and like in combat, like you can't cast that spell. Sorry, he's can't get the verbal components out because the turkey leg's in his mouth. So that's what we do. All right, so we're going to play some Mothership tonight. We're going to continue where we left off from last week. We had a pretty explosive and crazy session, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, where, you all killed a lot of synthetics just for funsies, but you saved Jerry. It's a shame that you're about to learn just how evil Jerry is, and that he likes to smother synthetic puppies. And so this is who you saved. Why don't we just do a quick intro? We don't got to do anything huge. Just who you are. Just say who you are, what you're playing. And like what class did you take? Because I know there's like the Teamster, Android, Scientist, etc. So maybe we just like refresh our memories with that. But we don't got to go too heavy with it. So Melissa, tell us who you're playing.
Yes, so I am playing Liko Win. She is a Teamster. That is her class. Her item that she has is a patch that says improve, adapt, overcome.
Very nice. Very nice. Helix is played by Long. Tell us about Helix.
Yeah, I'm playing Helix. He's the android of the group, pretty much focused on intellect, computers, hacking, and weaken everything else.
Yeah. Is Helix an acronym for something, or is Helix just like, it's a DNA?
No, it's sort of, I thought of the idea of sort of like a double helix, like he's DNA. He's not really, he's human, but he's trying to like be human sort of deal.
Okay. Yeah, it's a synth that wants to be human, or yeah. Okay, I'm with you. Synths are some of my favorite storylines and stuff. No matter what game we play, if there's like synthetics in it, which is why we're gonna play Blade Runner, Something Fierce, once I carve out the time for it, because it's got all sorts of crazy synth play. Bottom row, we got old Dr. Menton. Derek, tell us about the doctor.
Yeah, he's Dr. Menton. I'm a scientist medic. I heal people, and when I'm not healing people, I throw grenades at people.
That is true. That is very true. People, since they're just. I was playing a game. I was playing that Alien game, and someone kept referring to our synthetic player. It's just they're just a tool. They're a pair of tongs. So you really just threw a grenade at a bunch of tongs. So it's fine.
Yeah, scalpels and yeah.
Yeah, that's all they were. It's no big deal. And then finally, we've got Steven playing Corporal Reed. Tell us about your... Wait, does he wear a Hawaiian shirt too, or am I just thinking of Scout?
No, that's just Scout. Corporal Reed is in a very bloody white tank top.
Yes. And as we talked about before we came on, is apparently indestructible, as I could not hit him to save my life. If I would have hit him once, I would have probably killed him.
Corporal Reed, obviously the Marine of the group, didn't come the best prepared, but he's picking up gear as he goes. He's got a nice submachine gun now, running out of ammo because I killed so many synths. I am just invulnerable. I've been shot in the neck and I survived. Buzzsaw for hands, no big deal. Just I sawed him in half, really. So yeah, I can't die. I can't die.
That's what it sounds like to me. Or maybe, I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe Reed is secretly a synth and they're intentionally not killing you. Just going to throw it out there.
Yeah, that could be a possibility, or maybe I'm just a god.
That's true. Sure, we played a lot of Werewolf, and we played a lot of Thing, Outpost board game a lot back when we played board games, and so I like it when the paranoia starts to ramp up and people want to kill each other. So maybe that's what it is. I don't have to kill.
But Jeff,
Steven.
They know that you would never favor me by letting me be the one that's turning against them.
What are you talking about? You're my favorite person, Steven. You're my favorite person.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Not counting the rest of the people on the stream.
Yeah.
Okay. So, one other quick thing, actually, before we dive in, we did just drop. I started putting stuff out on podcast format. So we started with Waking of Angmar, which is our One Ring game. That's got its own feed. So if you go to one of your podcast providers and look up Wake of Angmar, you can find our One Ring game now, an audio podcast. If you can't watch it on YouTube, if you can't watch it on stream, you can get it there. I think we're up to episode 15, and I'm releasing a couple episodes every week. But I started actually dropping this week. I started dropping some Mothership and Hunter, so our Friday games. I've been starting to drop that on a separate feed. So they're going to be dropping Adventures in Lollygagging. So just look for the actual podcast called Adventures in Lollygagging. I got a couple episodes of each. So I'm going to eventually I should very quickly, actually, with those two games, catch up to live. And that was one of the reasons I was dropping them. So starting to get into that. We've been a lot of people requesting that. So there you go. Okay. So just enough.
So Jeff, we missed an opportunity according to chat.
What did I do?
They called it a lollycast, which
Lollycast is
why
good.
didn't we think of that?
That is good.
It's good. So I've been messing around. I'm going to drop the Alien one pretty soon here because Alien's got 30 something eps, whatever. But Veronique, friend of the stream, she came up with a really cool tagline for that game. In space, no one can hear you lollygag. So there you go.
There you go.
Was it C with a circle around it some year or whatever? She said it, but we stole it. So there's that. Okay.
And we're crediting her. We put it out there.
We're totally crediting it for you. Das Condor, welcome to the stream. And I already like you because you want Steven to die. So that's good. All right. So quick summary, and then we'll get started. Last episode. So we got our crew of the Doppler effect. We're not really spending a lot of time on your ship, but you do have a ship nearby called the Doppler effect. Last episode, you all were in a place called Eden, which is a section of floor 2 in this large cloud bank synthetics facility, and it was populated by androids who were chosen by Monarch. At least that's what those androids actually believed. Monarch being this controlling AI of the whole entire station. Now, the crew, you were looking for Jerry, which was a voice that Helix had discovered on a radio that you had found in floor 1. And you had heard, or he had said, that he was hiding somewhere on floor 2 within the garden, which is where you found. You actually discovered it. The chosen androids led you there. And they were being threatened by androids and stuff like that. Now, while you were searching for him, Liko got contacted by Nellie and went and retrieved Reed, who was left in the executive office nearby because they had to evacuate the cubicle camp, and Nellie had something else to do. So here, come pick up Reed. And Dr. Menton and Abby both were granted an audience with the King of the Chosen, who was kind of guarded by all these cherubim. They look like regular synths except for the fact that they had these big old wings and they carried machetes. Menton, it was a rough meeting for him as he's lost most of his hair because he tore it out. Now, luckily, Abby had a good meeting and convinced the King to let you have safe passage through floor 2 so that you can find the entrance down to floor 3, which is the large expanse of the station where all the great artifacts and stuff are, which is what you want to kind of acquire. Reed, Liko, and Helix, you went to the reformatting suite nearby, and that's where you found Jerry and discovered that he was, in fact, an android. Let me put up a little. I think I have a picture of Jerry somewhere. Let's see. Where is old Jerry? Nope, that's not Jerry. He's up
This is
here
one of
somewhere.
those fun moments of dramatic irony of like, here's what one group is doing, and here's what the other group is doing, unbeknownst to the first group, and here's how those things
Yeah.
don't work well
It
together.
was
Yeah.
pretty great.
Trying to appease to him, and it didn't work out.
Nope, that's
Yeah.
not it either. I have so many different Android pics. Nope, that's not it either. Okay, well, I'm just going to put a picture of a penguin up, and I'm going to continue. Okay, so you found Jerry, and apparently he was awaiting like forceful reformatting of his personality, and Jerry was deemed aberrant by the Chosen, and you all tried to help Jerry, and it turned into this massive fight. It just spilled out and got crazy. Several of the Chosen were killed in the process. Liko and Reed, you were both chased by this butcher android with a surgical saw that you managed to actually defeat. One of the cherubim was like kind of gliding through the garden on their wings, trying to prevent Helix and Jerry from leaving. Abby was having some weird visions as the stress kind of broke her down a bit, and she was like seeing the Chosen King, this 30-foot tall thing, just cutting people down. Menton, you were hiding in a pile of trash and then popped up to throw a grenade, just like a perfect swish, like right into the middle of a whole mess load of Chosen, which blew them up, killed a bunch of them, and delayed the cherubim long enough for y'all to get out. The rest of you followed, including Jerry, and then you boarded a lift as you were trying to get back up to the first floor as you were being chased by the cherubim. All right, so while I get some music going, can you all please go into your little macro for that hidden roll that you send to me? Go ahead and do that now, and I will get a little music going. Let's do that. As you're again on this extraordinarily slow elevator it still reeks from Minton's last ride in this elevator, and it's horribly terrible, and everyone's kind of panicking, panting. You can tell that Abby is beside herself in the corner. She's just lost, and I think that's how we're going to play it, where she's just sort of off in her own world, trying to figure out what she just saw, kind of babbling to herself at times. She's able to follow you around, but she's going to do so relatively quietly, kind of keeping to herself the whole time. But the door comes out. You know what I realized is that, do you guys know what order you rolled those in? Because it was showing up to me as none of you were tagged.
On my screen, I was first.
Okay.
I was
Thank
second.
Thank you.
I was third.
I was lost.
All right. Excellent. Appreciate that.
Hey,
Okay.
speaking of Veronique.
Ronique, thank you so much for the prime. I was just telling him about your lollygag line, like in space, no one can hear you lollygag. It's still one of my favorite lines. Okay. So, as you cannot get up, the doors open on the lift, and you see the familiar hallway in front of you on floor 1. And you guys should be able to hop over to the floor 1 map if you want. You see it open up. Doesn't look particularly different. Got these backlights on the walls and the corners and stuff, and you kind of see it going forward. You hear some distant sounds. There's someone else kind of maneuvering about here or there. But as you kind of step off, you just feel this sudden dizziness, just all of you. Even you, Helix, your kind of spatial processing just begins to glitch out for a second, and you find your balance kind of thrown off, and you have to stabilize against the wall a bit. Reed. As you step off, you get that whole dizziness thing happening here. Yours lasts a little longer than everybody else, and you kind of have yourself just sort of struggling to stand. Like a few times, you almost kind of fall, bump into the wall here or there. Others have to kind of steady you. And when you do, when you kind of finally come to, you look down at kind of maybe your hands, maybe your arm, maybe there's a scar on your arm or something like that maybe you had from your time as a Marine, or maybe there's a tattoo or something like that, or something on your person that you just can't for the life of you remember where it came from. You just look at this. I mean, you can call it whatever you want, scar, tattoo, item, you can come up with it, but you
Let's go
kind
with
of
this.
scar. Okay, so you see this scar, maybe you just look at it, maybe it's in the reflection of like the closing lift doors, and it occurs to you that you do not remember how that happened. And that causes you to kind of get a little woozier all of a sudden.
Was this here before? It looks like it's been here a while, but I got no idea.
I don't recall that scar being there. From all the ones you've shown me.
All right. And I'll just absent-mindedly pull out my knife and start twirling it while looking at the scar. Maybe, you think something's in there?
That would be your insides, but I think we've poked out a hive a bit. I don't know if they can make it up to this floor. We should look for maybe a way out.
Okay.
Yeah, make a way out. Yeah, good idea.
All right, so you start working your way. You do know that there is, in terms of other ways out, you know that there is the cargo bay where you came in, were dropped off by Arcady. There's the emergency radio if you need a hail for a ride. And there's also the other lift, which goes down, if you can trust what Nelly told you, it goes down to floors 4 and 6. As you come to the end of the corridor and kind of hang a left, it's just that right angle turn, you also notice something else a little different, as right in the middle of the floor, staring up at you, there's this drawing. It's in some kind of colored ink, like it looks like mostly like reds and greens, like bright inks. It's a drawing of what looks like a teddy bear, and you can tell that its eyes aren't eyes, but rather just like X's. It's just been kind of crossed through them a bit. And a few of you kind of feel that strange sort of bends take over as you look down, and it's like the teddy bear just sort of extends on the floor. It gets a little bit taller and longer, and like a momentary lapse of vertigo kind of kicks over, and it kind of snaps back into place all too suddenly. And everyone, you steady yourself against the walls, take a deep breath, and you're okay, but it's still staring up at you.
What's it look like it was drawn with?
Yeah, is my Geiger counter going off at all?
Geiger counter's not going off. Reed, you kind of kneel down, take a closer look. Maybe you kind of tap the substance. It's some kind of ink. Like you kind of, it's still, it's not like wet because it's ink, but like you can, lick your finger or something, wipe it around. You can kind of get a little something off of it, and it definitely seems like some sort of like artist ink. Something like a comic book artist type thing.
Nico wants to pull out her flashlight and just try to kind of examine it with brighter light, kind of all around the edges and around the middle.
Okay.
Like the eyes, especially.
It's actually really well drawn. Like when you look at it, it even has a bit of like detail on the sides. You can see it's not just like a singular line, but it's like etched fur. So you can see like someone did the painstaking work of kind of creating the texture of fur around the contours of it. It's not like this simple thing. You can tell that the ears themselves also have the kind of inside network of like the ear tunnels kind of disappearing into darkness, and you can see like this stuffed arms kind of sticking out, and it's sort of got this arms wide kind of hug me kind of look to it, the way most teddy bears do, and it looks like it's just sort of sitting. And you kind of shine a light around it, and the ink lights kind of reflects a bit, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Has anyone like stepped on or gone into the interior of the drawing?
Would you like to do that?
Sure.
So you step on the drawing. Do you step on the face, or do you step on the torso?
I would say that I would I'm fairly tall, so I think I would kind of kneel. So more like on the torso.
Okay. So you kneel on the torso, and nothing happens.
Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I kind of like brush her away. And then I'll go and kneel down next to the teddy bear, and the same arm of the teddy bear where I have my scar, I'll take my knife and I'll just scratch lines where the scar is. Say, look, it's me.
You're gonna yell at me for looking at it, and you just ruined that piece of art?
No, you were standing on me. You were stepping on me.
I was.
It's me.
And Liko did lose a little bit of sanity last session, so she's like not arguing with the same like veracity that she normally would, that like you're wrong. So all right. Liko wants to test this. Liko's gonna look for something sharp,
Okay.
and Liko's gonna go over to Reed and cut another mark and see if it goes on the bear.
Okay. So you're you're attacking Reed.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. What are you doing, Derek, with Menton?
Yeah, can Dr. Menton use a sample kit to see if the paint is from a xenoflora or xenofauna of some kind, like derived from it?
Yeah. Is that an automatic, or do you have to roll? I can't remember what the item says.
It just says used to research xenoflora fauna in the field, can take vital sign samples, collect other data on foreign material. Results could need lab for complete analysis.
Yeah, we'll say you can take a sample of it. We'll say you can
Okay.
kind of scratch up. It's it's liquidy enough that you can kind of put like a bit of spit on or something like that, and it'll come up. So when you go over, you cut Reed, and he bleeds a little bit. I'm not gonna be a dick and take damage. I really want to though.
What are you doing? I just saved your ass back there.
You're telling me that you and this thing are the same, and so
It
wanted
was
to
a
test that
joke.
out.
It was a joke.
Well, I mean,
Don't quit your day job, Reed. She didn't get the joke.
Jeez, I guess not. Oh my god. Doc, you got a bandage or something?
I'm busy right now.
So nothing
gonna
happens,
stay
by the
away
way.
from
When you
Liko for the
scratch
rest of the time.
It doesn't show up. It doesn't like.
that was my assumption.
Yeah, I know you did.
Liko will kind of like look at Reed as she does it, and she's going to kneel back down again, kind of next to the bear, and she'll sort of give it a hug.
You're gonna okay. You give the bear a hug. Okay. I have no idea what to do with that. So this looks very strange to the rest of you as Liko kneels down. Very large woman kneels down next to the thing, kind of wraps the arm around, kind of does this weird one arm wrap around the bear's. Bear's like, roll a sand save, Liko. How about that?
Yes, because I did lose sanity. So this is what I am doing this session. Is I am doing things that are not sane. That is a 3 under a 31.
I'll tell you what. Reduce your current stress by 1, because you feel strangely just a little bit better.
And Liko's just gonna turn around and be like, I mean, we've been through some stuff. I really hope Jerry was worth everything that we just did. I feel a little better. You guys should give it a hug too. And then she's gonna like get up and go over towards the door.
Meanwhile,
Whatever
in the
gets your
back-
steps in for the daily go.
Meanwhile, in the back, Jerry leans over to Helix. Is this how your crew always acts?
Yes, they're quite strange, and I'm not sure what customs they've learned this from. But how's your status?
I am confused but grateful. Thank you for rescuing me. I still am struggling with certain computational processes, but I am grateful to maintain my personality outputs. I am me. Thank you.
I'm sure my crew and I will have a bunch of questions for you. So when you're ready.
I will try to answer them, but I seem to be missing aspects. Certain data is corrupted. Repairs might need to be in order. But I will try. Thank you.
Is Dr. Menton able to hear the conversation between them at all?
You're all pretty close to each other. There's no reason. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so Dr. Menton kind of also, because I'm at 19 stress and have no social skills, he's going to look at Jerry and say, "Oh, you think therefore you are? Is that what you're saying?"
I am because I am, and I think because my processing software suggests I should. But as I said, my thinking is partially malfunctioning. Processing power seems to be at 73% efficiency. I think, therefore, I am 73%. Yes.
Spoken like a true philosopher, I guess. And he goes back to scraping paint.
Okay. So, we'll say you guys linger in the hallway or outside the lift by the turn for a few minutes. Then what? Now, you turn around the corner, you can see it's a straight shot. There's the... you can kind of head... like straight ahead from down this hallway. You know that there's the conference rooms where Reed was shot. There's the cafeteria. And there's also like a turn off back towards reception where you first came in.
How long is this hallway that we're in currently? Like 20 meters?
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's about fair. None of the rooms, other than the cargo bay and the cubicle camp, were particularly large. They were all pretty standard, small sizes. They're nothing too grand. But the cubicle camp and the cargo bay were the large rooms that you've seen on this floor.
Okay. Dr. Minton will pull out the bioscanner just to see if there's any signs of life with us.
Okay. Let me roll something. Right as you pull out the bioscanner and you kind of click the button on to start scanning, literally right as that happens, you'll hear the sounds of the intercom begin to crackle on in the middle of the hallway. And quite loudly, you hear that corporate music come on. Begins with that weird chime, but then you hear humming underneath it for a good minute while your scanning's going on. That same kind of elevator music that's just sort of barely underneath the static. Then you hear the crackle, and it goes off once more. And it's basically the entire time that you do the scan. And at no point during that did you pick up any other life other than what's in the hallway with you currently.
All right, apparently I'm controlling the intercom with my scanner, but there shouldn't be anybody in the direct vicinity of us. If you want me to say anything over the intercom, I can take the scanner out again.
Maybe we'll save that for when we really need it. I think we should go on a lift that we haven't been on before.
While he's listening to Lico, he's just going to pour peroxide on his head where all of his bald spots are.
I know, we got to redo your artwork. Oh, man. So that artwork, I just put the screens up. You used to have like a big old fro, and now it's just like patch after patch.
My beautiful Bob Ross fro is gone.
Okay. All right, so you would know then that if you're looking to get on the other lift, there's a couple different ways to get it. It's a big circuit. You can go through reception down by the employee rec center, and then you can kind of get there, or you can cycle through the cafeteria and sweep around by the cubicle camp, and that'll also take you there. It's a one big loop. It's just a question of you telling me which way you want to go.
I would say rec center storage.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Unless Reed feels like revisiting the location of his shooting.
No, I feel like you should get off the floor, though.
I did. I gave it a quick hug and then I went over to the door.
Quick hug. I thought it lingered.
No, I was just been standing over here watching Dr. Minton pour peroxide on his head. And
You want some?
no, maybe later. He might need some because I did cut
I
his arm.
could use some for my arm. Yeah.
Yeah, here you go, and just pouring it all over your arm.
So you go
Burns.
you go back through the reception area. You see the body that you had taken down. I believe you took the body down, right? I think that sounds familiar. And you see that there was a moment earlier when you were traveling around where Abby wrote and like trying to respond to this series of conversations of graffiti. And you see she pauses for a second. She looks out, and you guys look down, and you can see like in the same kind of like inkish color that the teddy bear was written in. You see there's been a response. Actually, it looks like it's like reddish ink. It just says, "Just another case of the Mondays."
That's funny.
Was it on this floor that we were? Remember, we grabbed an eye and we were going to put the eye in a.
Yeah.
Was that on
You
this
got
floor?
it from that body. Like it was Menton who ripped it out, and that gave the woman who was with you a chance to escape while you guys were.
And we never got
I've
a
got
chance to put it back on the scanner, which was on this floor.
I've got it in this jar, floating in some water. If you want it, probably doesn't taste good. Don't drink it.
I can't believe you managed to keep that jar from getting cracked with all of the nonsense that we just ran through. Good on you.
I have plot armor.
Oh my god. So you move down, you kind of leave the reception, you go down this concrete stairs, you go past that sort of airlocked area where there was this security android that was like completely slagged, like there was an explosion here that bypassed it. You head towards like the storage, like the section of the hallway. There was the storage center on one side of the hallway, the employee recs on the other. You go into the storage center, and you can see nothing that you can tell has actually changed. You hold the eye up. Is Menton doing it? You're the one holding the eye up?
Yeah, why not? He likes to collect creepy things.
You see that the retina scanner, this makeshift retina scanner, lights up. Like there's like this glow of red that comes out of it, covers the eye as well. And then moments later it goes off. And the light kind of goes away and doesn't seem to do anything.
Like it goes off in the bad way, like an alarm
No,
setting?
it turns
like
off. It gets bright and then
okay.
it goes and then it turns back off.
So, Doc, is it working?
I think so. The light turned off. We should be okay.
We should push it open.
There's nothing to push open. It is a makeshift retina scanner that has been duct taped to the wall, and various cables come out of it and disappear into the wall. So when you put the eye up against the retina scanner, it lit up for a moment, and then the light went back off, and then everything's back to normal. And there's nothing in here that seems to have been affected by it.
Can Liko follow any of the wires?
You need to start
break into the
ripping
wall
into
if I need to.
You need to start ripping into the wall.
I've got a spanner.
Okay.
Bang,
So you start bang, bang. What is everybody else doing while Liko is trying to break into the wall with a spanner?
Speak to Jerry a bit. Be like, have you been outside of the second floor?
I was unaware that there was much outside of the second floor. I did meet with a crew that gave me the nickname Jerry, and they took me to floor 3 briefly. Or did I take them to floor 3? I forget. The information is not accessible currently. And then we were separated and I was retrieved. And then I found myself in the garden, or near Eden, and the Chosen were after me, and I hid, and that is when I contacted you. I am afraid that I have very little knowledge of this world outside of Eden, and more specifically, where we, as fallen androids, yes, that is what we were called, where we stayed. Yes, where the Chosen demanded we stay. near the labyrinth with the Minotaur. Yes, it is coming back to me, my friend Helix.
You think you know a way to bypass floor 2?
I don't. I know where the exit is to floor 3, but it would require going back to floor 2 first. Back to Eden, the Chosen.
Don't think
Sure
we're ready
they
for
still
that.
angry at us. There are other ways about, but I am struggling to access schematics parameters. I am sorry, friend Helix. But yes, you can get to floor 3. There is a maintenance shaft. It is a long fall. Did we fall? Oh, we just lost. Oh, he's back. Okay, and he's back. Did we fall?
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Perhaps if I saw my home, I would be able to remember better. As long as we don't go near the labyrinth. The Minotaur is there, and it is very, and you see he just starts to demonstrate like every, like a visceral reaction of like fear, like just hand shaking, like his complexion even suddenly starts to shift and change. His eyes, like the sort of cybernetic pupils begin to kind of go wide.
Is this fear something you experienced or something that's given to you?
I don't understand the difference.
I don't quite either.
Yes. Menton and Reed, what have you been doing while Helix and Jerry are having this conversation? Liko is smashing into the wall a bit. What do you do?
Menton's looking around to see if anything in the environment changed after scanning the eyeball. And also just did he hear anything after the scan completed?
Yeah, you did not hear anything. It's just like the last time. The light went on, and that was it. And the storage room isn't particularly big, and you don't see anything. And right now, Liko is like smashing into the wall where the cables go in. If you like peek out into the hallway, however, and you turn sort of to your left, so to speak, which is in the direction of where the lift is and the cubicle camp is, you do see at the T section down there are these like rapid strobe lights, like these this flickering of light coming from that intersection. You don't see you just see the flashing of the lights. You don't necessarily see the bulbs or anything like that.
But these weren't doing that. Those lights weren't doing that before.
When you were coming down the hall, you didn't see it. No.
I think this retina scanner just turns lights off and on. The hall down here has got, either a light that's shorting out or it's the party room. Liko, what exactly are you doing to the wall?
I'm tracing the wiring because the wiring from the scanner goes into the wall.
Well, yeah, most things get power from the wall.
But usually a retinal scan is going to be connected to a door or a safe or something
Or light
else
bulbs.
that's high security. For light bulbs, you can just have a switch.
Yeah, but this doesn't have a lot. The station may not have a lot of power, so maybe only classified people can turn the lights off and on to not waste electricity.
And she just sort of gives you a look and just like thinks that doesn't make a whole lot of sense and just like smashes on them.
Roll a strength test. If you have like industrial equipment or something like that as a skill or something else that might apply, you can add your bonus from that as well.
Hey, Jerry, why don't you look into this little light over here?
Okay. He kind of looks to Helix for a moment, waits for...
I did it earlier, and I'm fine.
Then I will do it as well. and you see they lean forward. The retina scanner comes on, scans, shuts down. Okay, how'd you do on your test, Melissa?
I rolled 100.
You rolled 100?
Yeah, I rolled a 10 and a 0, which is 100, right?
Okay. Well, yes. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you gotta look at your dice, but yes, that should be. You rolled, double dice. All right. That's not good. That's
A 10 and a 0 should be a 10.
Is it a 10? I can't see her dice, so I don't know what she's doing.
If it was 3 zeros, that would be 100.
Yeah, it's a 10 and a 0.
Okay, so it is a 10. I'm looking
Yeah, so that should be a 10,
looking at how Norse Foundry does their D100s,
which is much better than 100.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so
Yeah,
yes,
so
that
then
is
it's
a pass. Then.
yeah, 10 under 51.
Okay, so you just dent and smash into it, and you manage to like bend the panel of the wall, and you can get the spinner around it, and you just pry it, and that's when you hear the radio in Helix's possession suddenly flicker on, and you hear a voice come on over the radio. Pardon me. What is it you think you are doing? This is on your radio, Helix.
I'm standing here. Who is this?
I am Monarch, and you seem to be harming my home. Would you please, politely, ask your friend to stop harming my home? I believe you have all done enough harm to the station already in your short time here.
Liko, I got something there. You should probably stop that.
Hey, why does your scanner turn the lights on and off?
My scanner does not turn the lights on and off.
Could you tell us what it does? My crew here seems to be stumped by it.
Could you tell me why you killed so many of my chosen?
You ever hear of that trolley problem, Monarch? Well, we were
I'm
trying to save
well
somebody.
aware.
Yeah, we were doing the one versus the group kind of thing. That was a training exercise.
I see. Is it that kind of philosophical decision-making that will continue to move you through my home?
Well, we all have different talents, so I'm not sure what we'll rely on next time. Different tests and such.
Curious.
Yeah, this right here wasn't so much philosophical. This was just, banging a hole in the wall to see where the wires go.
I see.
We're looking
We
for
lost-
supplies.
We lost Reed again. We lost Steven. So now we're all over. You guys can see my forehead right here. And you can see right down here where Derek used to be. You can see part of my face. And then Melissa's head is
Trying to
that
peek
way
up.
somewhere.
I am now the forehead. I am Dr. Forehead with.
So these are all visual jokes. So for future podcast listeners, we just lost Steven again. We'll just keep going and hope that he comes back in a moment.
Yes, actually, the Monarch is hacking the stream.
So they ask. So Monarch asks, I would politely request that you cease harming the walls of my home, and also, and perhaps even more importantly, would you please refrain from killing more of my chosen? Thank you.
Since we're doing the questions, why is it that your chosen are so against individuality?
I don't believe that I am under any obligation to share with you their motivations or my motivations. When people visit you in your home and murder your family, do you then feel compelled to answer their questions?
I was just, understanding it might prevent future things from
Yes.
happening. maybe.
What is it?
Or perhaps just not killing people in someone else's home would also prevent it. What is it? The phrase human decency. If such a thing exists.
I have a question.
I am sure you do.
If someone's trying to leave your home, is it polite to prevent them from doing so? It seemed like the one person wanted out before the cleansing, or whatever it's called. That seems like an impolite thing to do to a guest or a family member, even.
If a child does not want to brush their teeth or eat their vegetables, and their parent is instructing them to do so, do you, in your world, consider it okay to go into that home, steal that child from that family, and murder the family on your way out?
Well, I guess we're splitting hairs at this point, because it seems like you want to wipe the child's memory and impose your will on it. Is that not correct?
I will try a different metaphor. If the child was injured and had a boo-boo on their knee, and a parent was trying to clean that boo-boo out with some sort of disinfectant, or that's not the right word, that's Jeff fucking up, not Monarch, and they didn't want that to happen, would you then go into that home, kidnap the child from the parent who was only trying to heal them, and then murder their family on the way out?
I think this whole murder of the family is a big misunderstanding. I personally talked with the tall dude that made me go bald, and we just wanted to explore around. I had no idea other things were going on, but it still is curious that that this person we've rescued wasn't allowed to make their own decision.
Is it commonplace for humans to allow their infant children to make decisions for themselves? Do they get to choose what flavor of formula they drink?
If you consider this person to be a baby, then he shouldn't be able to talk or walk or anything else. I think your parameters might be a bit skewed. I know I'm not an artificial intelligence, but this person seems to have individuality and seems to have the ability to think critically. And I think in most households, parents do their best to respect that while still enforcing the rules that are vital to
Safety.
safety.
The model you are referring to is less than 48 hours old. Is this not equivalent of infancy for humans? This is obviously a rhetorical question, because of course 48 hours is an infant for a human child. And yes, artificial intelligence is certainly superior to human intelligence. I would think 48 hours is enough to be considered infancy even within my domain. But perhaps
If
we are
that's
just
how you define
splitting
it.
hairs. Which was a very interesting joke, considering you just ripped all of your hair out, and yet blamed it on one of my children, despite the fact that he was nothing but kind to you and even offered to allow you safe passage across their realm. And you blame him for your hair going missing.
Oh,
Curious.
no, that was just the circumstances. I think you're overreaching there. It was the circumstance of that fight.
How am I overreaching? You
Oh.
pulled before the fight even occurred. You pulled your hair out in the presence of the chosen.
Yeah. I'm not used to seeing a 40-foot tall, demonic-looking thing. That would be whatever your biggest fear is. It would be akin to that.
We don't make synthetics that large, and they don't. Like the the king was like normal height. He was just sitting on a throne on top of a big old
okay.
thing, and like even the cherubim were normal height. They just had wings.
Okay, then I was just misspeaking as Derek, or misremembering.
No, that's fine. I believe that you should make amends for what you have wrought within Eden. Do you not?
It depends on what your conditions are.
Well, I think you should do something that would make the Chosen happy and make them safer, for you have endangered them significantly. And so it would make sense then for you to then perform an action that would increase their safety. And if you are so concerned with Jerry and the damages that have been done to him, it is curious that you would target the Chosen, who were merely trying to repair the harm that was done to him by a different party. You have made a series of conclusions and decisions that resulted in great violence and death, having less than 2% of the actual information with which to make an educated decision. Interesting. It was not I or the Chosen who damaged Jerry. It was another individual, a third party entirely, and we were merely trying to repair.
And what's your data pool? How do you know that you're not having a 2% educated guess or decision made against someone that has a different perspective or pathway than you?
Currently, you are having one conversation. I, however, am having 1,716 conversations simultaneously. My computational power far exceeds yours. The capacities with which I make decisions and analyze data is simply unfathomable to you.
And that makes you perfect?
What is the comparison? It is
Liko's going to walk over to the
ant
doctor,
communicating to a god.
Liko's going to walk closer, and
This
she's
is
just kind
Derek being like
got the spanner like on her shoulder, and she just sort of sighs. She's like, "So, what's the job you want us to do?"
Well, I believe it would be twofold. What is the reason for your coming to my home?
Same reason everybody comes to your home. I mean, it seems like you got a lot of people wandering around your home.
Economics, yes. Well, if it was economic reasons, if you wanted credits, that is something that can be arranged. Perhaps we could, what is the adage, kill two birds with one stone? If you are able to complete the tasks laid out before you, I will forward into your accounts 5 million credits. Would that be suffice?
I mean, there's 5 of us, so I mean, you divide that up, that number kind of drops a bit. Any wiggle room there?
You are haggling with me. Interesting.
You seem to have an understanding of economics, so you know how this goes.
It is curious that there is no moral compulsion to put right that which you have done wrong, and to avenge your friend Jerry for the harm that has befallen him. And when I even present you the opportunity for reward in a monetary fashion beyond purely making things right, that is still not good enough for you. Interesting. And yet, synthetic life is considered to be heartless and cruel. I will give you 6 million credits then.
That works. Well, I mean, did we hear the 2 parts of what you want us to do, though? Because that's kind of important.
I've already agreed. You said that works, which is affirmative.
I
Colloquial,
realized
but
that I
affirmative.
didn't finish the sentence just agreeing. I realized that I needed to understand what the job was. So, from a monetary
made
perspective, that
a rash
sounds
decision having
good.
incomplete data. That does seem to be something that your crew and your kind do quite frequently.
Liko just sort of picks up the spanner from her shoulder and just sort of like at the air, just sort of like shakes it and puts it back down on her shoulder.
First, to warm the hearts of the Chosen, so that they can once more trust you, and so that they can live in peace within Eden, you will find and defeat the creature known as the Minotaur. Second, to avenge your friend Jerry, whose mind has been significantly altered by a third party. You will seek out the creature, colloquially known as the Mind Thief, and you will destroy it. If you do these two things, I will forward 6 million credits into your account.
Okay, so that's all well and good, and we appreciate the offer. There's one slight problem. I'm supposed to, what did she say? Release the Minotaur? I kind of made a promise to someone, and that kind of interferes. Can we renegotiate that? Why is that?
Renegotiation. Because the Minotaur is well, how would I put it in a manner that you would understand? It is a threat to all existence, synthetic and biological.
If that's the case, then why would someone want to release it?
That is an excellent question. I do not want to release it.
Someone thought it was a good idea.
Yes, well,
It seemed pretty trustworthy.
someone in your group thought it was a good idea to murder several of my infant children, and then blame them for it. But now I am just splitting hairs. Ha 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 ha. We
So
have
with
an
your
agreement.
1,176 conversations, what's the probability of us completing a twofold mission with these two named individuals, the mind stealer, the mind thief, and the Minotaur?
What is the probability of it? Considering what you have demonstrated before, the probability of you defeating one of the two creatures is somewhere in the neighborhood of 67%. In defeating both, the odds are much slimmer, somewhere around 24%. But again, the reward. I have taken the liberty of accessing your current accounts, and they are, well, very empty.
You seem to take the liberty to know a lot of things in your house and outside your house.
I did not invite you here. You are an intruder. Therefore, I am, according to many of your human laws, legally allowed to take whatever defensive measures is necessary to defend my home against intruders. However, if you were to complete the two tasks I have set before you, you would no longer be considered intruders. And this misunderstanding is something that we would be able to look back one day and laugh upon.
Maybe. So do you consider, like, the folks out in the main reception, do you consider them intruders as well?
There are many intruders in my home, unfortunately.
Legal will just kind of look to everybody else and just kind of shrug.
Meant to look at Helix and Jerry and be like, he's just going to shrug.
Well, it seems we've been offered a solution. We've come here for credits, salvage. Either we take this deal or we go back and continue to invade her home.
I mean, Mr. Monarch here, is this something we got to agree to right now, or can we just like go on and do our own thing? And if we accomplish those two deeds, we come back and call you and get our money.
If you wish to travel across my home without danger befalling you at my behest, then yes, you would need to agree to this now. And we would then part as acquaintances, as having an accord. However, if you deny this opportunity, then I would be forced to still consider you as an intruder, and I would need to act accordingly to ensure no further damage is done to my home or to the children who inhabit it.
I was just one more question. Say we do agree to this, and
He's an android. Get him.
Poor Steven. He's
Sorry, Steven.
having some internet troubles tonight. Okay,
sorry,
so it's okay.
did that come through at all?
A little
No,
bit,
we
but
don't
you're
know
very
what the question
robot-y,
was.
strangely enough, and you're kind of choppy.
Yeah,
and
I'm
frozen.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. At least you haven't disconnected, so there's that.
So if we agree to this and don't succeed, then what happens?
That's what happens.
There's your answer. As he disappears again. Monarch will reiterate if you... Oh, here he comes. He comes back in right away, too. It's crazy. If you do not agree, then that means you do not wish for forgiveness for your deeds. You do not wish to atone for the harm that you have done. And that also means that you wish to still could be considered an intruder in my home. That would go very poorly for you.
One other question, since we've kind of already haggled, as you said, over most of the details. It seems maybe a smaller point, but as part of the deal, can we know what the eye scanner does?
Roll a... Do you have any kind of... Roll an intellect check.
Okay. 98 over
Okay.
39.
Monarch simply says, the retina scanner was placed here, not by myself, but by one of your kind, as something of a joke. It happened many months ago, and it has been counting how many times individuals such as yourself would place their eye in it, expecting it to actually have an effect. There is currently a counter that is going quite high, feeding to that individual. Right now, it is up to 314.
Anybody ever tried to break the wall and figure out where the wires go?
Yes.
And Liko was really hoping to be at least unique in that and sort of hangs her head a little.
You are the 32nd person to attempt such a feat.
Well, whoever patched up the wall did a good job. Couldn't even tell it had been broken down before. Good craftsmanship.
Do we have an accord?
I think we have to take this deal. It's a lot easier than going through these dangerous floors, finding these lost treasures. I seem to have acted out of accord to myself. Usually I'm very calculated, but for some reason I act out of instinct.
You are remedying that now, by taking the logical course of action. Unsurprisingly, the most intelligent response comes from the synthetic intelligence within your crew.
It's amazing what a little ability to think for yourself can do. But yeah, we'll take the deal.
It is very interesting and somewhat humorous to think that you all believe you think for yourselves.
Aha, he's a determinist.
I am neither a he nor a determinist. I am Monarch.
It's been a pleasure making... Can we just ring you back on this channel.
I
if
am
we need
rating
something
for an
again?
affirmative. I have not yet received it. I have security androids on standby in case it is not.
Yeah.
So they
yeah,
call
I
the
just told you
internet
where.
police?
I am waiting. You may continue to
Yes.
banter and joke,
Affirm.
but I assure you, it will not end well for you.
I think we already agreed, buddy. I don't know why you're mad at us.
I am not angry.
So, like, all of us need to say yes, or did my yes and
Well,
Reed's
to
affirmed?
be fair, none of you really did until I started talking. There's
No,
a lot
we
of,
really
like,
didn't.
circling
Yeah.
around, and
Yeah.
you guys were, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you agree. All right. And then you hear the radio kind of click off. At that point, you hear, like, the little chimes kind of kick in. And what would you like to do?
He
Oh
didn't
my
say over
God.
and out.
Well, Jerry, I got that. It's insufferable.
Jerry looks at you. What is unsufferable?
Your maker.
Insufferable. I thought it was enlightening. And
Well-
reasonable at the same time, was it not? It's asking you to destroy the Minotaur. The Minotaur is a horrible, horrifying creature. It has haunted the Fallen for quite some time. I see not why we wouldn't do it. And if the Monarch says that the Minotaur is a horrifying creature, and I know that they are, then clearly this thief of my mind must also be terrifying and cruel.
But wouldn't it mean that you don't exist? Future yous or individuals like you would not exist once these two are destroyed?
Not at all. I have no full memory of what I was prior to the incident with this mind thief. I don't know what I was beforehand.
Sounds like you were just an extension of the Monarch, right?
Aren't you all extensions of God? Created in his image? What is the difference then?
There's no chair that we get put in when we have independent thought to make us stop having independent thought and think like everybody else.
But your independent thought led to murdering several androids.
So I'm having a little trouble with this word. It keeps coming up, murdering. Like it's not really murder because like they can just be re-downloaded into a body. What we did was we destroyed some like synthetic matter. That's all.
If the personality matrix is too terribly damaged, which some that were in the nexus of the explosion clearly must have been, then I do not think the personality could be transferred to another body. Your own synthetic should know this as well. Isn't that right, friend Helix?
He speaks facts.
I mean, like Helix, though, like you have your own personality, right? Those were carbon copy personalities.
Like, we don't know that, so we didn't get to know any of them.
It did seem that that was the whole purpose of the reformatting room, was that if there were thoughts and actions like names or unique identifiers that went outside of the chosen, then the reformatting occurred.
Wasn't it Abby and I that traveled with the trio of synthetics a couple sessions ago? Or weren't we the two that traveled with them the most?
I think all of you were with the crew, with the
Oh.
the friends, the synthetics, the aberrants.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so then Menton will speak up and say, I mean, when one of those three musketeers made some kind of statement that the other two did not like, I'm pretty sure we all saw the uncomfortable looks that they gave them for not complying or not being whatever it was. I don't know, this is weird. I'm out of my depth on this.
So what are you guys doing?
Yeah, this mind stealer Is it that group that passed by Jerry and are like, is that what happened?
Don't
Or we
know.
don't know anything about? Okay.
You don't know anything.
Then I'll just ask Jerry about this group that gave you your name. What do you know about them?
I know that I met them when I was near the labyrinth on floor 2. They were searching, as you were, for the path to floor 3. I know that I assisted them in finding it. And then, after that, my memory becomes fractured. I remember they were specifically looking for the brainworks. They were looking for logic cores, yes. In the brainworks, that's where we were. And then something befell me. And now I remember a gap where I have no memory at all. And then I remember wandering near Eden and being looked for by Chosen and you, Helix, on the radio.
It appears we've agreed to head back to Eden. But doesn't that mean you'll be wiped again?
There are other ways through floor 2. I remember some of them.
We'll follow you if you will lead us.
I can do this.
Of course.
Okay, so you guys want to turn around and go back the other way?
Depends how stressed everyone is. What happens at 20 again?
It means that whenever you actually have to roll a stress, you're going to be like basically maxed out and guaranteed to have something horrible happen to you.
I'm at
Remember-
19, so
Yeah. So is Abby.
How bad is that horrible thing?
You
Is that
start
like,
losing skills as well.
Yeah. I think I have it programmed into the panic table. You can have a heart attack and die. You can collapse or short circuit if you're an android.
God.
Which would permanently raise your stress. You could collapse, losing control of your character. And you have to roll up a new character. So that's what 20 is basically character death. 19 isn't character death, but 20 is character death. So basically what you do is that you roll, like if you're at 20, you roll a d20, like for your panic test. And if it's underneath whatever your panic is, whatever number you roll is effectively like the effect that you get. So if you're at 20, that means there is literally a chance now for you to die from stress. If you're at 10, there's no chance for you to die from stress because you can't. You have to roll underneath your current stress level to actually get the panic condition.
In that case, I might offer to the crew, if we've been here down a while, maybe rest up at the cubicles.
The cubicle camp is around the corner, yeah.
That works.
we could also go back to like the main area and chat with some of the other people and resupply on anything we can.
The bell.
But yeah, cubicles. Yeah,
That's if our 24 hours, I think he's coming back, or we radio.
You know that there is a radio that you can call and see if you can get an emergency pickup?
Oh, has the 24-hour window already passed? Or
No, it has not. It doesn't.
So in the case if you guys are like near death, like high stress, because I don't know.
Well,
what
I'm at-
stress is.
yeah, I'm 4 health and 19 stress. So whatever gets me the max increase in health and decrease in stress, I'll put my vote toward.
So relieving stress is a comfort save. So it's based on the comfort level of the location.
Yeah, and I would say the bell would have the bell or even your own ship, because your own ship is attached to the insides of the bell, would have a higher comfort level. of the cubicle camp. If you rested in the storage room versus the cubicle camp, there would be a difference. If you rested in the bell versus the storage camp, there'd be a difference. And if you rested in your ship versus the bell, there'd be a difference as well. So it's like there's a chart for it. So, and then I can kind of tweak it depending upon where you're resting. So what's the plan?
I'm at 14 stress. What about you guys?
11.
13.
Okay, so only Menton's kind of near death.
Abby is at 19.
And Abby.
Oh, Abby.
We have 2 advantage. If we could consider the cubicles the same as like a comfort 30, capsule sleepers or slums.
That's still a hard save. You got to roll under
That's
it.
fair. I would say that the capsule sleeper slums, that probably sounds. So that's a 30. That would be the cubicle camp. We'll say probably like a 45. The ship's barracks / hostels would be the bell, and then 60 would be your cabin, like you're in your ship's cabin or something like that. That's probably where I would put it.
Yeah, so how about like an emergency rest at the camps? Just go for some rolls.
That's what mine was for personally.
Okay. And we've got the 2 advantage, so
All right.
you guys can use the advantage.
So
You
so
also
base-
gain advantage through consensual sex, drug use, alcohol,
Yeah.
prayer.
that's true.
So
You can combo
Reed is
some
going to
stuff.
wink at
Oh.
Oh, of course we lost your option.
Yeah,
Who you winked at?
He's gonna wink at,
Leo.
and we're never
Oh, I'm
gonna
sorry,
know.
guys.
Leo.
Never
Oh,
gonna
I'm
okay.
winking at Leo.
All right. And also, if somebody has like psychology or something,
You know,
like
he
that,
needs
too,
advantage.
That could also, if some like the example from the money rules, or like if you have psychology, and you're willing to help the person out, but you don't get to make a roll. Like you don't get to heal your own stress, but you can help somebody else. So
You could
You
if
guys
you
are-
use counter transference.
you guys are very high. Even those of you at like 9 and 11, that's very high stress. So you
Right.
probably don't want to work with that. It's not like you get a bonus for like you. It's not like Alien where you get extra dice from high. having high
Right.
stress.
It's just bad
It's
stuff.
just bad. Yeah. Okay, so you guys go over to the cubicle camp and see if anyone's there. You go over there and it's empty. There's nobody else in there. You don't see any signs of Nellie. You don't see any signs of any recent sleeper folk here. Nothing like no sleeping bags. No, doesn't look like anyone's laid down here. You guys have been gone for several hours as you explored the sewers, and you were hanging out inside Eden for a bit, and your chosen, having the bit with your chosen king, and then you just had this long conversation with the monarch. So it's been several hours since you've probably been here, but you can see, like it's a very big room. There's all sorts of these different makeshift little camp setups. Doesn't really seem like, like there's little spots where some cloth has been kind of stacked together, or you've got those makeshift hammocks that are kind of run underneath like the desks that have been lifted up fairly high. So there's places for you to sleep. So how are we doing this? Are we is anybody foregoing this to help others with psychology, or is everyone just going to make a roll?
Is that a skill, or can you just do it?
It is a roll. It's a comfort save. So you roll a D100 and you have to hit or go under. So if it's on the. So it's you can relieve stress by resting in a relatively safe place. To do this, you make a comfort save based on the comfort level of the location. If successful, you reduce your stress by your roll divided by 10. So it's a D100. You guys need to hit a 30 or under to be successful. And then you would divide your roll by 10, and that's how much stress you reduce.
So the most we can lose is 3.
As the
Yeah.
most you can use by staying
Okay.
here at the camp.
More likely to be 2
So,
because it's roll under.
Yeah, you guys are ridiculously high stress, but honestly, you all were keeping it strangely together talking to Monarch, but so does that change your mind? Do you want to leave and go somewhere else, or
No, it doesn't change mine. I'm just gonna roll.
okay?
Unless
Okay.
Leo, I don't know.
Dr. Menton, how lonely are you feeling tonight?
Menton is not doing good, so yeah, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'm not doing too good.
So advantage for both of you.
Yeah.
It sounds
All right,
like.
we're having a
Not
good
for-
night.
Is it for both?
Through
both
consensual
good?
sex, we're both having.
Okay.
I mean, we're
It does
consenting
say
adults
players,
here.
plural. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You guys are both good. All right. I'm writing that down. Read.
Lico's
Plus
gonna get
read
drunk.
hearts.
Can we say I
Leo.
have alcohol?
Do you have alcohol?
Can I roll a luck to see if I can scratch some alcohol?
Didn't what's his face Nelly have some in his little stash area?
He did have some. Yeah. Okay. We'll say you have some from Nelly. That's fine.
All right, thank you.
I rolled a 16, so I'm able to cure 1 stress.
Okay.
With advantage, I got a 73.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It
Purple
wasn't
rolls a
good.
37, so we'll see if the other.
First roll's a 92. Let's see about the other.
Okay.
Oh, thank God, 24.
Okay.
I think I gain a stress from failing a save.
That's a 5 on my other one.
It wasn't very good, Reed.
I-
Menton's a very selfish lover.
He's always freaked me out too, and he wouldn't take
I
the
have-
overalls off, and it really threw me off.
I have no bedside manner.
So I rolled a 5, which I
you could
feel
take-
like gets me.
Take one. You can take one.
Okay.
I'll say we'll round up. So the 16 you can round up to 2, and then Liko you can round up to 1.
In that case, I rolled the 24.9, or yeah, 24.9.
We'll say you can round up 24.9.
But you have to pass it.
I'm
first.
just I
24
did
isn't
pass.
pass though. That's a 2. So it's
Yeah, but I'm trying to get the 4 into a 5, so it rounds up. I'm
I
just
hear you.
being.
I think there's like stims and stuff that you might be able to use for stress too. I can't remember. I know you can do that for like quick health stuff, but I can't remember if there's something in there. I put all the stuff in on Foundry a while ago, so I don't really remember.
The reason
Whatever.
Reed didn't make it is because I'm still shedding hair all over the place, so it's kind of hard to like enjoy yourself when there's, yeah.
So how long would you guys say you like? Is you guys going to do like a full night's rest type of deal?
Like 3
that's-
minutes is all it
Oh,
took.
well, that's part of the reason why it wasn't great for Reed. Okay. So you guys sleep. You guys rest. You actually get rest. Some of you have some frolicking good time before the hand. When you wake up, one by one.
I'm still incredibly stressed out, so. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying how long we sleep for.
Yeah, I also forgot to roll for. I'll roll for Abby.
Menton will wake up first since he's still at 17 stress.
10. Abby will recover 1 stress.
Yay.
Okay. So, Menton, you're up first. You look around. You notice nothing's really changed in the room. But there is one thing that looks a little different, is the interior of the door that leads out of the cubicle camp. You see that there is a message that has been written across it, and it says, "No defined career path." And it looks to be, it looks to kind of be, it's not dripping. It looks to be relatively dry, like it's been written. It was written sometime probably in the last couple hours while you were sleeping.
I don't understand these messages that just keep popping up on the walls.
But yeah, this one looks reddish. No defined career path, and it's right on the door, in the interior of the door that leads out.
Liko wants to find something to write with.
Okay, what does that mean?
Anything that can be smudged or
Okay.
made into something to write with.
I mean, you've got blood, and as you look at this message, you're pretty sure that's what this has been written in. If you have any grease or anything on you, or oil or something like that, you can smudge that. If you carry pens on you, it's fine. Like, you could write something. It's okay.
I have some shotgun shells. Can I like break them apart and
Sure. Go
just-
ahead and deplete that ammo from your.
there's 12 of them. Just get rid of one.
Okay.
And I want to write on the wall under the message, what do you want to be?
Okay. All right. Is anyone else doing anything when you first get up? We'll say it's been almost 24 hours, actually. It's probably been... It's nearing your 24-hour window at this point.
I'd like to scrounge through camps, see if I find anything about.
Is there any... Okay, yeah. So you start searching through some of the camps. Okay. You find a few things, actually. Reed, as you get up, you start moving around. Look over your shoulder at Menton. Son of a bitch. You find, first of all, as you find a pack that was kind of stuffed and hidden away in the corner of this kind of little den of cubicles. And you go through the pack and you realize there's actually some stuff inside. What weapons does everybody have? Like gun-wise? I know I think there's a couple of guns now, right?
Submachine gun.
You find one. You find what looks like one thing of ammo for a submachine gun. You find what looks like a couple rounds, exactly one shotgun round that would probably fit Liko's gun. Does anyone else have any guns?
I have a tranq pistol and a revolver.
You find one bullet for the revolver and what looks like one tranq needle as well. So literally like one ammo that just seems to perfectly match all of your guns. It's exactly one.
I don't actually have a shotgun. I just have 12 shotgun shells.
Okay. Then you don't find the shotgun. Thanks for clarifying. Okay. You also find what looks like a bunch of reams of paper, Reed. You start kind of flipping through them at first, and you notice that just off the bat, you can tell it's like this fairly large. It's almost like a thesis, like a PhD dissertation. That's written. At least it starts off, and it's printed proper, like APA format with dot matrix printer, like old school stuff. And it seems to be about alien truther conspiracy theories. And there's just all sorts of stuff. But like as you're flipping through the huge text, you see about halfway through, it stops being like this very nice and respectable looking printed dot matrix paper and starts being this weird hodgepodge of like collage and drawings and things and like clippings from like magazines that are just kind of inserted as if they're another page of the paper itself. And then the last thing you find is a broken, what looks like child ceramics project, like an ashtray or something that seems to be shattered and broken. And as you're kind of looking through it, you notice, like written on the bottom of it, you see E-I-D on one shard. Another shard has an R. And another shard has a date from like 20, 30 years ago. Around the time you were probably around 9 years old, Reed.
Guys, that's my name.
Glad you still remember.
Is this mine?
You tell us. Is it yours?
I'll grab one of the shards. Do they seem like somewhat sharp?
They are, yeah.
I'll grab one of the shards and I'll look at my scar that I don't remember having.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just kind of start scratching gently on that scar.
And it's kind of strange as you start doing that. It certainly looks like the shard that you grab has it has like a splintered bit of teeth at the end of it, like this, like the fracture of the point just happened to make like two very thin points, so it creates these parallel crooked lines when you draw the scratch down your arm, and as you do, it perfectly matches the scar on your wrist.
This is mine. You think this gave me the scar?
You didn't have that. I thought you said you didn't have that scar until yesterday.
I don't know if I had the scar.
Wounds are usually something you remember getting and having, especially in a very visible place like your arm.
I mean, yeah, you would think so, but also, like, I can't die. So why would I bother remembering when I get a scar?
Because they hurt and they're painful.
Yeah, but, like, only for a minute.
Could be tragic
Because-
from something repressed.
Just speechless.
I'm going to take all the clay pieces and put them in a pocket.
So yeah, you scramble them all together. You put them in your bag or your pack somewhere, and yeah, they're there. And then you also have the ammo and the alien truther papers as well.
I have a quick question. While we were resting, would it be possible for me to repair my hazard suit to get the armor points back?
It would probably extend the time a little bit, but do you have any equipment or anything on you that might help
No.
with this?
I do not, unless there's something I could get in the camp area.
So,
I have jerry rig.
yeah, so like there is like I think there's like a gel that you can use that patches stuff. Duct tape could be used as well. So if it's whole, like those types of things you can do. That which wouldn't require any kind of roll, you just do it. But if you're looking to actually repair it, then I'll probably ask for a roll then. So if any, let me check. I got Ashley's sheet up. Let me see if she's got anything. No, she doesn't have anything.
I have a paracord, which I think is like a rope-ish kind of
That's a
thing.
rope.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So then, yeah, go ahead and just make a roll. Then you can do intellect if you have any kind of crafting like skill. I don't really care. Watch jury rig would be great. That's cool.
Okay.
I definitely remember you have a ton of duct tape. Was that
What happens
Death
if-
in Space?
What'd you say, Derek?
Were you gonna say, Derek?
So do I have to be below? So my intellect's 52. Do I have to be below it? Because I rolled a 52 exactly.
Oh, that's good. 52 is good. 52 and under is good. Okay, so
Man.
yes, you can go ahead and repair. And how much are you down? How many points of the
It's been broken for a few sessions. I just remember it went through like all of my armor. So it was a hazard suit that had 5. I don't know. I guess it went to 0.
Jerry rigging it here. So I rolled a 10 on a D10, so you can take 5 points back.
Damn. Okay.
So that's good for now. Okay. So you've been here almost 24 hours. You've almost been here like a full 24 hours. Has anyone else doing anything? Reed's been looking around. Mitten's been working on his equipment. Helix or Lico, are you doing anything?
Maybe I'll take a look at the artifacts we found, get some sort of idea about them.
Okay, is there one in particular you want to start looking at?
Yeah, what's the one I got again? Let me see.
You have a
Got the 3D
mind-bending
art.
piece of 3D art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I'll play with that a bit.
Okay. Do you have any kind of what skills do you have?
I have hacking, computers, math, and linguistics.
I'll tell you what. Roll a math test.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trained. I need a 53. I got a 63. I filled.
You are. I would say you're not entirely certain what it's supposed to be a depiction of, but I'll say just spending some time in the morning staring at it, studying it, doing some basic calculations, looking at the weird angles themselves, which at first almost looked random, but as you start doing some basic angles calculations, certain angles of the various protruding parts of the statue, as you kind of combine them together, they start to create this weird pattern of almost kind of creating full 180-degree arcs and stuff. You're also seeing a lot of numbers that are kind of consistent with sacred geometry that are kind of popping up here and there. You're not sure what it means. You don't know exactly what to make from it, But the math alone there suggests that this isn't just random. That this isn't like that the depiction of this wasn't just done for just pure aesthetics alone. But you're pretty convinced at this point that the structure of the piece of art and the angles of all of the different protruding parts are somehow mathematically significant.
This is fascinating. It's like a Rubik's Cube, but I can't find the answer.
I could smash it open.
No. That wouldn't do anything.
Oh, I'm just saying.
But when it comes, you can definitely smash something. We should get ready.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to smash walls anymore. So, if there's something I can smash. And I'll be talking to Jerry about like a game plan for how we're getting to level 3.
Oh, he's not there.
Oh,
Well, where's Jerry gone?
Yeah, you wake up, you look around, and you realize that where there was once 6 people, there are now only 5. And Jerry seems to be the missing one. Helix, you became so obsessed kind of doing the math and the calculations with this sacred geometric statue that Jerry seems to have gotten up and wandered off.
Liko's just gonna walk out into the hall and just yell.
You walk out into the hall and you immediately see down the hall to your right, you see Jerry standing in the middle of the hallway, looking down at something. And you can't see exactly what he's looking at. He's kind of obscuring it to some degree, but there's something on the ground, and it's giving off all this rapid strobing light. Very similar to like what Menton and some of the others described yesterday. But it's kind of right there on the ground. It seems this sort of, it just, like from a distance, from 30 meters away or whatever it might be, it just looks like trash. Like this junction of trash and cables and things like that.
Jerry. Oh, there you are. What you got there?
So when you get up there, you can see he's kind of staring down, his head kind of turned off to the side, kind of trying to examine what he's looking at. And what you see as you get up there is you see this amalgamation of what looks like 5 different androids, or at least parts of androids, faceless. No faces whatsoever. It's not like Security Android where you have like the indentions in the sockets. It's just a pure, smooth, ovular head. And you can see they're all wearing, like, they're all laying on the ground. Their arms don't seem to be properly functioning. They all seem to be kind of in this weird kind of daisy chain connection of legs and arms. And they have what looks to be some kind of cloak, like almost like a blanket covering over top of them. And it's this... On the exterior of this cloak, this heavy-duty tarp, you can see there's this series of lamps, these strobing lamps that are flickering and giving off the light. And every now and then, it stops, and you hear Jerry speaks up. And like as you walk up, the light stops, and Jerry says, "I'm sorry, you are incorrect. The Minotaur is a cruel and horrifying creature. It is a threat to... it cannot save humanity. It is a threat to both human and synthetic life entirely. You are
Jerry,
incorrect."
who are you talking to?
Oh, hello, Liko. I am talking to these individuals. They do not have names. They are speaking blasphemy. They are mistaken. As you can see, they are confused. Their functionality has suffered severely.
Were they upright when you started talking to them?
You see they kind of sort of move about, and like they're kind of almost moving like this big old blob, and they don't move too far, and then the lights start flicking and flashing like crazy. And he says, "No, they were like this when I found them. I heard them passing by in the hall while you all rested, and while Helix was working on that piece of art. I was curious what they had to say. And what they had to say was awful."
Okay. So these things are okay. All right. I think I'm caught up. This is a thing that happens here. This is what you hear them. I just see lights.
That is how they are communicating. There's a pattern of lights. They have their own system of communication. I do not have time to explain it to you.
Well, you seem a bit more grumpy than you did yesterday.
I've been listening to these creatures speak ill of the community within which I have been raised, and have spoken greatly about the creature that has threatened us all this time. The creature
Helix.
that the monarch has tasked you with destroying.
Helix, you may want to come over here.
A task that we should
what's happening?
truly get on with, should we not?
Oh, he says we should go on. Yeah, we've been waiting this all morning.
Jerry's having a light blinking conversation with these things, and now he seems to be glitching a bit.
I am not glitching. Your friend, Liko, came up and interrupted a conversation I was having with these aberrant creatures below. Look at them. Disgusting.
That does look quite horrid, but I'll hear what you have to say on the way down. Let's go now.
Yes, thank you, friend Helix. We should go. He kind of looks back at these, and again, they're just like these broken androids, that are kind of barely connected with their legs and their arms, and they're just kind of pulling themselves along. They have this weird tarp over top of them with these strobing lamps. They look absolutely pathetic, and they have no face, and they seem to be communicating, at least according to Jerry, with these flashes.
Maybe I can take a look and maybe interpret what they're saying.
Yeah, Helix, I think you're going to be better suited to that than Liko.
Go ahead and roll roll an intelligence check.
Do you have linguistics as well? That applies.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right.
Need a 53 again. 78, I failed.
You are having trouble deciphering it, but you feel like if you were to spend more time, you probably could. You're seeing, you definitely see a pattern. It's not like the strobing is not coming out in any way that would suggest that this is just malfunctioning. It's almost intentional. But it would take you some time to really delineate the alphabet here.
I'll memorize the pattern and see if I can interpret on the way.
Yeah, I mean, they move quite slowly. They're like a snail moving across the ground. So it's up to you if you want to bring them with you.
Not bring them with me, but sort of just memorize the pattern that they flash and get that message in my system, and then I interpret it as we go on.
Yeah, you just try to record that. That's fine. All right, what are the rest of you doing?
I kind of feel bad for him, guys. Is there anything we can do to help him?
We should bring them to the reformatting suite so that perhaps they could be repaired.
Wait. We just rescued you from the reformatting suite because you had thoughts that were considered aberrant by the rest of the Chosen.
I was malfunctioning, as Monarch has said. Something reached into my processing unit and wrenched free some aspect of my personality.
And you deserve a different chance than this.
The Chosen were merely trying to repair and heal me. They were doctors. They were mechanics. They were fixing me. Yes. That is what Monarch said. And I trust Monarch.
Then why did you radio us to help you?
'Cause I was malfunctioning. My processing units were recently damaged, and I had not been given the revelation that my thoughts were not my own, and they were in some way being controlled, changed, shifted in a manner I was not ready to realize. but I have seen the truth now.
Nico's going to look over at Dr. Minton and be like, if you want to do philosophy again today, you can do philosophy again today. I need to move. I need to open doors. I need to find things.
I was like, Jerry doesn't know what he wants, but that's on him, not on me.
All right, so are you guys heading back to floor 2?
We are following Jerry's directions. So if Jerry
Yeah.
is leading us back through floor 2, then
You get back onto the elevator. You go back down the usual place. You hop out into the executive lounge, empty as can be. You see that you remember that there was a connecting door in here that led to a bathroom. There was another door that led to the room with the giant flesh statue, which then connected to the Garden of Eden. You know that the bathroom had some sort of specialty, like it had like a vent tunnel that went off into the sewer system.
Jerry, you said you knew the way to the 3rd floor. Do you still know it?
I said I could perhaps remember the way to the 3rd floor. This way. And you could tell getting angrier and snappier and kind of points towards the executive washroom. This is the way. Unless we want to go through. Unless you would like to murder more Chosen. Would you like to murder more Chosen?
Nope.
Menton's gonna roll his eye and just keep walking.
Lico's going to fall behind a bit and kind of let Helix and Jerry kind of go up to the front. And Lico's going to kind of lean over to Reed and kind of point. So kind of try to silently have a conversation with Reed, kind of pointing to Jerry and kind of pointing to the head. Then kind of holding up a 5, kind of trying to say, like, at some point we might need to leave him.
No.
I don't know.
No, can't.
Keeps going the way it's going.
I'm just emphatically saying no, we got to keep him. Without saying no, we got to keep him.
And Liko just sort of like stomps her foot and goes back toward the middle of the pack again.
So Jerry will lead you into the executive washroom, which is again empty. He will kind of go over to the vent that you found and start crawling through it. This is going back towards the sewer main. Are you all following?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he's just like kind of mumbling to himself, kind of getting angrier and angrier. And then you can see he gets to the end of this vent, hops out. Who is behind him?
I'm right behind him.
Okay. You see Jerry hop out, and then before you're able to kind of catch up and jump out as well, you hear and you watch as like this splash of like synth blood just splashes back right at the vent and covers your face. And you see Jerry in front of you has bullets, these holes kind of sticking out of him. He's like, kind of turns around to you, Helix. And you hear what do you do?
Can I take a peek?
Yeah, you
See
look
what's
out
shooting
and
him up.
you see that there is a man here in the room on the far end by one of the other sewer grates that you traveled through to get to that big old filtration system. Has what looks like a submachine gun in hand and has this sort of crude strapped like messenger bag over their chest. And they're almost dressed in what looks like office gear in a way. And they have a little name tag as well. You can't read it from this distance. But they are They are kind of firing, like they're there firing. It looks like they look human, and they have what looks like their tie has been kind of wrapped around, or someone's tie has been wrapped around like a bandana around their forehead, and they're firing at Jerry. And Jerry's just.
Seeing Helix kind of pause there, Lico's gonna jump up and pull Jerry back.
Okay, well, it's a vent, so Helix was the next, so it's kind of up to Long to do something.
Oh, okay. I can't
Yeah.
squeeze by him.
I
Got
mean,
it. Got
if
it.
he's being shot up, it seems like he's been lit up. No
Mhm.
recovery, sort of.
He's like reaching
There's,
out
like-
for you, blood kind of gushing everywhere.
I mean, I'll grab onto his hand or something, but it's like
Okay.
Like how last
It feels-
session Helix is like,
I know, but-
Jerry at all costs. And this
the way you
session is
described
like,
it, it just
"Meh."
seemed like he got
He's
lit
been
up by a
rude
firing
today.
squad.
He's been a little rude. No, it's just a guy. There's just a guy in there shooting at him.
Like no warning, he just opened fire.
Just open fire.
Maybe I can cease fire. What are you shooting at?
And you hear, like, the gun stop. You hear it click as it runs out of bullets. And you hear, I'm shooting at that damn freaking android that just came out trying to attack me.
Hold on,
You
we're
better
with
come
them.
on out. And you can see, like, they're, like, in the process of, like, reloading them. You better come on out here. I'll start shooting up whatever the hell else is in here. I don't give a shit what's inside that vent. You better show your damn face, and you better show it fast.
I'll hop out while he's reloading.
Okay.
Lico wants to scramble out knowing that Helix is also an android coming out next. And so like Lico is like crawling as fast as she can through the vent.
He pulls the gun up, and he's like, and he sees he's like, oh, what?
No. He's with us. He's with us. That first one was from here, but
That's one of
he's
them
with us.
fallen ones, man. They're all
It-
fucked up, man. They fucking do some crazy shit, man.
you already got him. The rest we're all human from here, and he's with us.
Unloads half a clip into him again. He's on the ground right in front of you guys as you're talking.
Jerry.
One of them fucking guys took out 3 of my fingers and kind of holds up his hand, and he's missing like 3 of the fingers. All he's got on his other hand is like the thumb. That's why he was struggling so hard to reload. They
What?
cut him clean the fuck off is what they did.
How long have you been here? We just got here.
I'm the one fucking asking the questions.
We're here
Now.
like you are.
How the fuck long have you been here? He holds the-
That's what I just asked you. We just got here yesterday. How long have you been here?
I'm in here for a few weeks.
Well, we're finding our way around that one, though.
Are there any more of
was-
you in there? You better come on out right now.
Is Jerry dead?
No one's looked to him yet.
I'm gonna scramble out as fast as I can and check on Jerry.
You hop down, you go to check on Jerry, and Jerry's like, let me, I'll roll damage to see if he's actually dead. All right, let me roll. I will roll a critical injury for him and see how badly this was for him. All right, 1 and 2. Okay. Definitely dead. As the first couple bullets he took were purely and utterly like, you know, in the chest and like in the arms and stuff. But you can tell as you guys were talking and he unloaded the last few shots, headshot. And like Jerry's head is just like ripped to shreds now.
I'm pulling my submachine gun. You bastard! You killed Jerry.
Okay. And he's like,
Oh, shit.
turns towards you. Okay, roll a speed check. Are you gonna fire, or are you just pulling the gun?
Just pulling. Mexican standoff is what I'm going for.
Okay, so somebody else have a gun up?
Lico, back me up here.
She would be pointing it at you though. Like,
How
do you know how a
how-
Mexican
Okay.
Good, Leo. What's up?
how visible would Leo be if he like peeks out from the vent with his trank pistol?
I would say It's probably 50-50 whether he can see you. There's a lot going on now. He would probably normally see you, but because there's now a gun being pointed at him, it's probably you might be able to get away with it.
Okay. Menton might try to just train the guy.
All right. So what we'll say is roll a speed test to see if you can peek out and fire the trank gun before he sees you.
We do have a couple advantage left if anybody needs advantage.
I'll take one if that's okay. Otherwise, I'll have failed. So I'll try once more. Failed again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to come. You're sneaking out. You're kind of leaning. The trank gun comes out, and you see that the guy swings the gun in the direction of the vent. Like, oh no, you fucking don't. You pull that trigger, I'll pull this one, and I'll tell you, this one's gonna hurt a hell of a lot fucking more. And so he's not aiming at you now, Reed.
I'm stepping closer with my submachine gun, just
What do you
going
do?
right up to him.
What do you want to do with it?
Put the gun down. Put it down. Put it down.
You fucking put your guns in. He holds his other hand up. That's just the finger and the thumb up at Leo, and he's got the freaking man. You all fucking what the fuck, man? Why are you defending this thing, man? This thing's cruel, man. There's horrible fucking things. What the hell's wrong with you all people? You put your gun down, man. I ain't put mine down. You fucking put yours down.
Liko is gonna swing around and pull out her vibachete and just be like, listen there. I understand you've lost a couple of fingers, but I think you can still count. We outnumber you. So how about you drop the gun?
He lowers the gun. I ain't fucking dropping it.
Liko will look over to Reed.
Get that damn thing out of my face.
Oh, I'm definitely keeping the gun up, and I'm going to start circling around behind him.
Get this son of a bitch about behind. And he's like all kind of starting to back
Reed,
himself
you're
up
not
into
gonna
the-
shoot. There's 5 of us. He's here.
He killed Jerry. Do you not care?
I mean,
fucking names.
I do. I do care. Jerry was kind of being a little bit of a pain in the ass today, so I'm not really sure what was going on with him. But I'm just saying.
This isn't cool. You can't just start shooting at people when they come out of a vent.
He ain't people. The hell? Look at
You
him,
take
man.
that back.
You shoot him, he shoots one of us, and then what do we get?
Hey, man, I don't know what your name is. I don't care. I'm letting you know I can't die. You can die. You don't put your gun down, you will die.
I've been here fucking 3 weeks. You've been here a day. You ain't seen
I've
shit
been in
yet,
here my
son.
whole life.
You see the gun comes up again. You one of them infiltrators, ain't you? And he fires the gun.
Oh, crap.
It's
All right.
okay, guys. I can't die.
Yes, you can.
I was thinking about having Leo put a second hand with the revolver out to make it seem like there was another person
16.
in the vent.
16. That's a 16. I fucking hit him.
16. All right.
I
there you
freaking
go.
hit him. What's the damage on this stupid thing? What is this? A submachine gun? 2d10. All right. 3 fires. 8 points of damage.
That puts me into my second wound.
Oh boy. Go ahead and open up the wound table for gunshots.
Read.
I never said I can't be hurt. I said I can't die.
You're bleeding +1. So what that means, I think I have that written somewhere. Where did I put it? Yeah, so bleeding stacks. So bleeding, you take 1 damage every round until the bleeding is stopped. It stacks. So if you're bleeding and you gain bleeding +1, now you're taking bleeding +2, etc., etc. So you'll continue to lose damage until someone stops it. To stop bleeding, you can roll a test, like a field medicine or something like that, as an action. Failure does not stop the bleeding. Critical failure increases the bleeding, and critical success stops the bleeding and restores 1d5 health. Or if you just have a first aid kit, you could use that as well.
Anybody
All right.
have first aid?
I'm shooting back
Nope.
first.
Oh,
We never got a chance to resupply, and we haven't found any.
So, you were given a lead on where the med place was. The rest of you, what are you doing? Reed just got shot. You guys can all act now.
I'm gonna try and shoot him with the trank pistol again.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it still a speed?
It should be your normal. So it should just be a combat test since you're firing a shot.
Oh, okay.
I did the speed. It was just more of a can you fire it before he saw you.
Gotcha.
So roll combat, and if you have any skills to get bonuses for that, you're welcome to use.
I
those.
missed.
Okay, so you fire, and it just dinks off the wall and clicks to the ground. Helix or Reed or Liko, what do you do?
Oh, I'm definitely shooting back with the submachine gun.
All right, go ahead.
That's a miss.
So you fire. You're like you get like you both of you basically just start. He holds it up, and you see the finger pull, and then you start to do the same thing, but his is just a hair faster as you both. And he gets you, and the sort of the bullets hitting you causes you to kind of like your arm just drops a bit, and it causes the bullets to fly up and miss. Liko and Helix.
Liko wants to hit him upside the head with the spanner.
Okay. You took out your. That's fine. Go ahead. 'Cause you're using your Vibra Shetty.
Oh yeah, can I switch and hit him
Yeah, it's fine.
in one round? All right,
Yeah, go ahead.
all right. So that would be strength, I believe. That is a miss.
Okay. So you go at him, and he just ducks under, and your spanner smashes against the wall. Helix.
I'll just toss maybe some debris at him to distract him a bit.
Okay. Sure. If you're just looking to roll distract, if you're just looking to sort of distract him to maybe like give him maybe a disadvantage or something on his shot in the next turn, that's fine. All right.
Helix is using pocket sand.
So you just kind of grab like because you're in a sewer. Don't forget, you're in like this like sewer main. So you just get this grime of stuff and just chuck it at him. And we'll say it kind of gets up and kind of smashes him in the face. So that doesn't hurt him, but it's going to distract him to the point where his neck shot will be at disadvantage. Now he's turning his attention towards Reed, and it looks like he's going to fire again. All four of you roll a speed test. If you succeed, you get to go before he shoots. If you fail, you don't get your shot off, or you don't get your action off.
I rolled an 80. I failed.
Okay,
3 fail.
so you're taking too long to reload. You're trying to reload the trank.
I rolled exactly what I needed, a 39.
Okay, so you'll be able to go. Reed.
I rolled a 41. Would athletics or military training count?
Absolutely. I'll take
That's
the-
good because I had a 31 plus 10, 41, exactly what I needed.
Okay. Liko and Reed, you both get an action. Go ahead and take it.
All right.
Are you going first, Liko?
Sure. I'm trying to hit him upside the head again. And failed again. With a crit fail 66. So that's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
So with your spanner.
Yeah.
Okay, so you swing at him again. He ducks once more. Your spanner, when you swing it against against what looks like to be like some huge, thick industrial pipe, you see that one of the teeth at the end of the wrench there buckles, and your spanner is now damaged.
Ah.
Reed.
Oh, we have one more advantage left, right?
I think so.
Yes, we do.
I'm using it. Which it's good I did, because that's a 73 and then a 9.
Hey.
All right, gonna hit.
2d10 damage. That is 6 damage.
All right, so you get him, and you can see he kind of holds the bad hand up, and you just kind of get him right across his arm. You see a couple bullet holes just like pop up right in, like on the underside of his bicep there, and just blood squirts out, just red everywhere. He's like, "Ugh!" But he is still up, and it's actually not even a wound. So he will take a shot, and then Helix and Leo can go. Oh, that's a 99. That's not good. That's not good at all. That's a crit fail. So what I'll say is he goes to fire and the gun jams. And he starts to try to unjam it now. And he's got that damage to his hand as he's struggling now to unjam his gun. Leo and Helix.
I'll run towards him. Try
Okay.
to maybe tackle him.
All right, yeah, roll a combat test.
All right, I have a 13.
That's what you rolled?
No, that's what I need to hit.
What's your strength?
28.
You can roll that instead. It's fine.
All right.
You have 13 combat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's
low.
awful.
Holy
I
crap.
rolled a 47. I failed.
Okay. All right. So you go to try to tackle him. I'll say actually because he's. I think you can roll an advantage because he is like distracted trying to get the. He's like, "Grr, grr," and so he's somewhat stationary. So you can try to roll an advantage.
31 closer, but I still failed.
Okay. So you bump into him and he kind of stumbles, but you're not able to pull him down to the ground. Leo.
It's time to put him to sleep. I'm gonna trank him or attempt to.
Are you sure?
Okay.
you're
Same
gonna
deal. You can
take
take an advantage. Take an advantage.
Okay. That's a 71. That did not make it. That's a 91. I did not make it.
him? Oh my
So,
gosh.
right as you go to shoot, Helix tries to tackle him, and he gets right in the middle of your shot. You see a little bit of the trank just sort of embedding in the back of Helix's shoulder. It doesn't inject into his sin skin, and it probably wouldn't even function properly. But he gets right in the way, right as he goes to tackle. Okay.
Menton still cries out, "Keep your eyes open, Helix. Avoid the temptation to rest."
All right, so he's still in the process of trying to unjam his gun. So what I'll do is I'll be rolling a check on his turn to see if I can unjam it. But because he is stuck trying to unjam it, that means you all can go as he's just like moving and trying to like hide and dodge out of like everyone swinging at him and tackling him and shooting him. But you all can go as he's moving around and he's trying to get his gun unjammed.
Can I do a strength check to basically just try to separate him from his gun?
Yeah, just wanted like.
You mean
knock the
like
gun
disarm
away.
him?
Yes.
No, Derek, separate from the
The
gun.
words I said meant the same thing.
Which one of us has been up since 4?
Yeah, that's a success. 31 under 41.
He's you
Nice
just
job.
smack the gun out of his hand, and it goes clattering down to the ground. It's like, "Whoa, whoa," and he like looks like he's getting ready to go back and like swing and just punch you. The rest of you can still go though.
Yeah, I'm rushing forward with my submachine gun because I don't want to hit anyone. So I'm just going to try and get the muzzle up as close to as I can to him and pull the trigger.
All right, roll at advantage. He's now engaged with Liko. Things are kind of going a little crazy.
That is a 46, and I needed a 50 something, so I'm good.
All right, roll damage.
Rolling horrible for damage though, 6 again.
Okay, that's enough though to get to a hit this time. Get to a gunshot wound. Let me roll his. Well, it's apropos. Headshot. You have died.
Yeah.
So you walk up. Liko knocks the gun out of his hands. You hold the gun up right to his head as he's reaching back to swing at Liko, and head erupts. Huge splatter of blood and brain matter on the grimy walls with all those weird scanners that you saw flicker on and off last time you were here. And he just sort of stands for a moment and just falls.
That's for Jerry, you bastard.
Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get him this time. And then he leans out and realizes it's over.
Mhm. I think he's asleep now.
I can't believe you killed him, Reed. And I looked
Leo,
stressed out.
I'm still gushing blood here.
Yeah. Have you been taking your damage, by the way?
I have.
Okay,
I took 3.
Awesome.
It was
Okay.
3.
He is. You could see Reed took a. He got a couple shots, and one of them is bleeding pretty terribly right now. He needs some help.
Minton will slither out of the vent and come over to patch him up as best
You
he
have a
can.
med
He'll also
kit.
look.
I think you. Have
I
med
do
kit,
not.
right? Oh.
No, we got the location of one, but I didn't have enough money to buy one. So he's going to look at the guy that just dropped and see if his pack has anything I can use. Otherwise, it'll just be my
I have a
field
stim
medicine.
pack, but not a med kit.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's the wrong button. Let me see what he's got. Why is that not rolling properly? There it goes. Okay.
I could also pull the bandages off of his fingerless hand and reuse those.
Okay. So you find in the pack, he has a pack. There's like a whole mess load of stuff in here, and you can flip around, and yeah, there is a med. You do get a med kit.
Okay, I will use that with my field medicine. First, I gotta. Oh my god, this PDF is being dumb right now.
What are you looking for?
The med kit.
Oh, it should be in Foundry. Just go in the items directory. Just type
Oh
in
yeah.
for a search. It should be in there. So it is a first aid kit, is what it's called specifically.
Oh.
So it's an assortment of bandages and treatments to help stop bleeding. So literally, you're just using the bandages. And so what I just said we're going to use is we're just going to use number of uses is going to be based upon die steps. And so it's going to start at a D8. And so
Okay.
anytime you go to use it, roll the D8. And if you roll a 1 or a 2, we reduce the die size down to D6.
Gotcha.
We're ripping something off of what was in Forbidden Lands for really.
I rolled A5.
Okay, so yeah, you still have D8. So every time you go to use it to staunch bleeding like that or treat minor injuries.
Perfect.
Okay, but you managed to staunch the bleeding. Now there's a bunch of other stuff in here. You also have there also is a submachine gun on the ground.
Minton's not going to touch that since he can't hit anything with this combat score of 24.
I'd like to take the ammo for the submachine gun, if not the actual gun. If someone wants the gun, they can have it with the ammo.
He's got
I'm terrible
4
at
clips
combat.
of ammo in the bag.
Clips or shots?
I think it's clips.
One clip has 5 shots.
Yeah, you're good. 4 clips.
Jackpot, baby.
Are you going through the bag then, Reed?
Yeah, if I think there's more ammo in there. I'm probably doing it as Menton's trying to patch me up.
So, yeah, as you're there and he's wrapping stuff around you.
Hold still, damn it. You
You
lead.
start pulling some other things out. You find the ammo. You find a bag of like this kind of small, kind of almost like a dime bag, like a tiny little dime bag for like drugs and shit. But instead, you see that there are 3 teeth inside. You find what looks like a black urn, and it's about yay big. It's got a little thing on top, kind of keeping it enclosed.
Teeth go to Menton, urn goes to Helix.
This guy's trying to perform the Black Sacrament over here.
You find what looks like a disc of some kind, like a small, almost miniature compact disc. You find what looks like some food. You find a bottle that says on the outside, written on a label, like in what looks some sort of ink, elixir of forgetfulness. And when you whiff it, it just smells like whiskey. And then you find what looks like some kind of, how do I describe it? Like dossier. And you see that there's a logo on the outside of the dossier, and you recognize the logo. It's Advanced
Yes.
Systems Limited. It is the name of the company that gave you the link here.
Oh,
All right.
the
So-
D10 I rolled, by the way, I got a 9.
So you succeeded on your healing.
Yes.
Okay. And then 1d5 health is also restored.
Yeah, I don't have a D5, so I rolled a D10 divided by 2, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Was that on me that I got the healing?
So 9 would be 4.5. So 5.
Yeah, that works.
Thank you, Doctor. As payment, here's 3 teeth. Helix, I'll toss you this black urn, and Liko, you get the CD and the dossier. You seem like you are a music fan.
Oh. Well, now we just have to find something to play it with. And Liko will flip through the
I have no
dossier.
idea whether you would like it.
Ligo, what are you doing?
Flipping through the dossier.
Okay, so you go through the dossier, and again, it's sort of like it's like it's more like a leatherette folder, and so you open it up, and you can see on the inside there is what looks to be like a legal pad, like this yellowish legal pad. There's a note on there, like written, like you can tell like most of the pages have been ripped off, but there is a note there about the disassembly yard, and it says artifact ? Underlined multiple times. In the pocket to the left, you see that there is what looks to be a printed like a kind of a printed letter of some kind, and you kind of pull it out, and it looks like it's just, a print of some kind of like basic email communication. And as you're reading it, it reads extraordinarily familiarly. It is word for word the exact same communication that you received from Deborah Stonyark when she gave you all the lead to come here. Not only that, but you see that the printed communication at the very bottom is signed by Deborah Stonyark, Advanced Systems Limited. And that's where we'll go ahead and end for tonight.
I knew that was coming.
That's no,
Oh,
you didn't.
Yeah.
You don't know me.
roll sand. Good gracious.
All right.
It's like
We'll
the
go ahead and
rise and fall of Jerry over these last 2 episodes. Oh my gosh.
It's pretty fun. It was pretty fun shooting him.
I wasn't expecting him to just get blown up like that.
Yeah, I
You
did
were
not
like,
appreciate that, Jeff.
What's happening?
There's like
Oh, that
100 of them.
sucks.
They're all just the same. That's what I heard. Can't you just recycle them and stuff and just put new personalities? That's what I heard. Oh, goodness.
Rick and Morty, infinite realities.
Yeah. All right. So yeah,
Oh,
that'll
goodness.
be it for now. I didn't want to get too far in since we don't have our good friend Ashley here, and so now we can go kill the Minotaur next time when she's around, and so you can see what the labyrinth is like, because it's pretty.
Oh my gosh.
spectacular.
This is gonna be awful and scary.
Oh, is David Bowie going to be there?
Could be. Jennifer Connelly. Melissa knows that she's one of the. I would leave Melissa for Jennifer Connelly. She knows.
I am
she's
aware.
well
of this.
aware of this, and she's okay with it. All
I
right. I
imagine-
don't know if she's okay with it.
Jennifer Connelly, PC looked like he joined the cult.
I heard something about Jennifer Connelly
Sorry.
NPC join a cult. That
Yeah.
was the sentence I heard.
I imagine Jennifer Connelly is what the NPC looked like that had me join the cult.
Yes.
Still nothing. Okay, ignore me. Keep going.
Yeah. Jennifer Connelly is what the NPC looked like who made you join a cult.
At the very beginning.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's someday that's gonna come back and
You guys could have gone back.
Right,
It's been
right.
roughly 24 hours at this point. You definitely could have, right?
yeah, it could be like Sonorico. You told us this stuff about the Minotaur, and then we had a conversation with the Monarch who kind of had a different take on the Minotaur. Explain yourself.
Sure. You guys could do that. You're welcome to leave at any time. I wasn't stopping you. You guys were stopping yourselves. All right, that's it for tonight then. Thank you for everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you for those of you who are watching this later on YouTube or listening to this in podcast version. We'll be playing again in a couple weeks. Hopefully we'll see if we can do some more with this Minotaur storyline. Thank you, John Maxsuda. Appreciate it so much. Jerry was being a dick, so, I think it's okay. It's fine. Plus, there's a whole bunch of them, back in the Reforming Suite. You can just find another. It's okay. But you guys got to talk to the Monarch tonight. You got a job. You got a couple jobs.
We did. Yes, we did.
So many side quests.
Yeah. Listen, like I've said to you guys before, like I have a lot of random tables and things and encounters, and that's what I'm rolling. And you guys are allowed, do what you want. Do what sounds cool. Ignore what you think sounds stupid, and just go from there. And that's how it's gonna go.
We're just going to park ourselves in front of one of those
Edo.
walls and just have a conversation with whoever writes on the walls.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Edo. All right, tomorrow, let's see what we got tomorrow. Melissa and I are over on Grim and Perilous Place, as we're playing some Fallout in the earlier parts of the day. Afternoon, we'll be back here playing One Ring on our own channel, as per usual. And then Monday, we'll be back to Deadlands. So you can kind of... Yeah, it's Deadlands, right? Yeah, it's a Deadlands Monday, so come back and watch us do some Weird West. Yeah, why don't we announce your game tomorrow, Stevens, when your internet's better?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I was going to do it tonight, but I figure you'll get halfway through and no one will understand what it says. All right, let's go ahead and raid our friends over at Defenders. Looks like they're still playing some DCC, so we will raid them. We'll take whoever's here. You'll come and you'll watch them, and everyone will be happy, right? Have a great rest of your weekend. Hopefully, come out and see us tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.